Statement of Carnot theorem. There are two parts of Carnot theorem. First part is efficiency of reversible engine working between two same temperatures remains same. If two reversible engines are working between same source and sink, then their efficiency will be the same. This is the first part of Carnot theorem. Efficiency of reversible engine working between two same temperatures remains the same. Second part is efficiency of irreversible engine can never be greater than the efficiency of reversible engine working between two same temperatures. If two engines are working between same source and sink and one engine is reversible and other is irreversible, then second part of Carnot theorem says that efficiency of irreversible engine can never be greater than the efficiency of reversible engine. Now we first prove the first part. When we take two reversible engines E and E dash, E and E dash are two reversible engines. Reversible engine means we can use them in as refrigerator. They can work in opposite direction as refrigerator. Both we consider two engines E and E dash. Both are reversible engines. Both can work in opposite direction as refrigerator. So according to Carnot theorem's first part, we have to prove that efficiency of these two reversible engines E and E dash will be the same because the two engines are working between same source and sink, between same temperatures, between T1 and T2. Now let engine E extract Q1 heat from source of temperature T1 degree Kelvin and it gives Q2 heat to sink of low temperature T2 degree Kelvin. Remaining heat Q1 minus Q2 will be converted into work. So work done by this engine E is W equal to Q1 minus Q2. Now we take second reversible engine E dash and use it as a refrigerator. This second engine E dash is used as refrigerator where it extracts Q2 dash heat from sink and gives Q1 dash heat to source. For this some work is required on it and the work required for it must be equal to Q1 dash minus Q2 dash. If engine E dash works in reverse direction as refrigerator, if it extracts Q2 dash heat from sink and gives Q1 dash heat to source, work required for it will be Q1 dash minus Q2 dash. Now if we suppose that the engine E dash works by the work done by engine E. Then work done by engine E, W equal to Q1 minus Q2, it will be equal to Q1 dash minus Q2 dash. We write this as equation 1. Work done by engine E is Q1 minus Q2, W equal to Q1 minus Q2, and this work is used to run engine E dash as refrigerator, and work required for engine E dash is Q1 dash minus Q2 dash. So W, which is equal to Q1 minus Q2, it is also equal to Q1 dash minus Q2 dash. This we write as equation 1. Now we imagine that engine E is more efficient than engine E dash. Let efficiency of engine E and engine E dash be eta and eta dash respectively, and first suppose that eta is greater than eta dash. Engine E is more efficient than engine E dash. Efficiency of Carnot engine eta is W upon Q1, and W is equal to Q1 minus Q2. So formula for efficiency eta is Q1 minus Q2 upon Q1. So we put eta equal to Q1 minus Q2 upon Q1. Similarly, we put for eta dash as Q1 dash minus Q2 dash upon Q1 dash. As from equation 1, Q1 minus Q2 is equal to Q1 dash minus Q2 dash. Numerator in left hand side and right hand side cancels out, and we have 1 upon Q1 is greater than 1 upon Q1 dash, which means Q1 dash is greater than Q1. This means Q1 dash is greater than Q1. This means that the quantity Q1 dash minus Q1 is positive. And from equation 1, we have Q1 dash minus Q1 equal to Q2 dash minus Q2. Q2 dash minus Q2 is same as Q1 dash minus Q1 from equation 1, and we know that quantity Q1 dash minus Q1 is positive. Then we also have the quantity Q2 dash minus Q2 is also positive, because these both quantities are same. Now we see the combined effect of engine E and E dash to sink and source. First we see combined effect on sink. At sink, Q2 heat is given and Q2 dash heat is extracted from it, and we know that Q2 dash is greater than Q2, as Q2 dash minus Q2 is positive quantity. Q2 dash minus Q2 equal to Q1 dash minus Q1, and both are positive quantities. It means Q1 dash is greater than Q1 and Q2 dash is greater than Q2. So at sink, where Q2 heat is given to it and Q2 dash heat is extracted from it, net effect is this, that Q2 dash minus Q2 heat is extracted from it. Q2 dash is greater than Q2, so net heat is extracted, and net heat extracted from it will be equal to Q2 dash minus Q2. Now we see the combined effect on source. Q1 heat is extracted from source and Q1 dash heat is given to the source, and we know that Q1 dash is greater than Q1. It means heat given to the source will be Q1 dash minus Q1. Q1 dash is greater than Q1. So net heat is given to source and which is equal to Q1 dash minus Q1. So entire combined effect to sink and source is this, that Q2 dash minus Q2 heat is extracted from sink and Q1 dash minus Q1 heat is given to the source, and there is no external work. Work required to run engine E dash comes from the work done by engine E. External work is not needed. Now, as Q2 dash minus Q2 is equal to Q1 dash minus Q1, so the heat extracted from sink Q2 dash minus Q2 and heat given to source is Q1 dash minus Q1, both are same. So the heat extracted from sink Q2 dash minus Q2, it is given to the source. It means heat flows Q2 dash minus Q2 heat flows from low temperature sink to high temperature source and no external work is needed. This violates the Clausius statement of second law of thermodynamics, which states that heat can never flow from low temperature body to high temperature body unless external work is done. So the assumption that eta is greater than eta dash is not true. So we say that eta cannot be greater than eta dash. So the assumption that eta is greater than eta dash is not true. So we have eta not greater than eta dash. It is not eta greater than equal to eta dash. It is eta not greater than eta dash. In a similar manner, if we interchange the engines E and E dash, we can prove that eta dash is not greater than eta. So eta is not greater than eta dash and eta dash is not greater than eta. By combining these two equations, we have eta equal to eta dash. So if two reversible engines are working between same temperatures, they are acting between same sink and source, their efficiency will be same. Eta will be equal to eta dash. To prove second part of Carnot theorem, we assume that one engine is reversible and one is irreversible. Let us assume that engine, consider E as irreversible heat engine and E dash as reversible heat engine, and efficiency of engine E, we assume let it is eta IR. IR is for irreversible. Irreversible engine is E. So efficiency of engine E, which is irreversible, we assume this efficiency is eta IR. And the second engine is E dash, which is reversible, and efficiency of engine E dash is eta dash. Then we can prove, as in previous example, that where we have proved that eta is not greater than eta dash, now we can prove that eta IR is not greater than eta dash. But in this case, now engine E is irreversible. We cannot run it in opposite direction as refrigerator. So the second part cannot be proved. So we can only prove that eta IR is not greater than eta dash. So if two engines are working between same temperatures, one is reversible and other is irreversible, then efficiency of irreversible engine can never be greater than the efficiency of reversible engine. This is the second part of Carnot theorem.